Good morning, my dear friends. I'm really glad that you're joining me. I have been nursing a cold for the last couple days, but the sun is shining. I'm feeling better. I'm emerging from my cave, and I have a candle review for you. A candle review of a little mini collection put forward by Aldi, which, as you know, is a discount German grocery store line. And their particular line of candles is Huntington Home, as many of you know. So this is their mini line that is, they're calling it the Art Deco line. And as you can see, these vessels all kind of have like an Art Deco-ish motif around them. They're ceramic, they've got lids, they've got different colors. And this one is stunning, especially right here. Yeah, black and gold. So I picked up these four. They are 10 ounce as opposed to 14, which is their kind of Bath and Body Works-esque dupe pour. So this is 10 ounces and they are $5.99 a piece, which for Aldi is, you know, fairly steep. For everyone else, it's not. To put this in perspective, you can buy all four of these for far less than one candle at Bath and Body Works nowadays. If you buy one of those fancy shiny labels from Bath and Body Works, apparently it'll set you back $32, $33. It's craziness. With Aldi, and you all know this, you do have to adjust your expectation. It is a $6 candle, and it is gonna probably perform and smell admirably for it being a $6 candle. Honestly, if you picked up one of these kinds of candles at like TJ Maxx or Marshall's with the same ceramic, the same motif, the same aesthetic, it wouldn't be $6. And it has a lid on top of it because many of the luxury brands are beginning to forego lids across the board. So you do need to adjust your expectations, but you get a lot for the little amount of money that you put forward at Aldi, no question. Many of us are on a no-buy for candles for either the first part of the year or for aspirationally most of the year. Many of us are on a no-buy or a cautious buy across the board, not just candles. Branching out though from your increasingly expensive go-to candle brands, especially when it's like a very modest purchase at a place like Aldi, gives you the chance though to try out a new candle, to smell something new, to buy a little something without breaking the bank, without being resentful, etc. So that might be kind of a nice thing to think about doing going forward. So in the spirit of that, I've got this beautiful Art Deco line for you from Aldi. Now, as you know, Aldi does not often provide scent notes. All you've got is the candle and the name of it, which is often descriptive, but not completely descriptive of everything that's going on in the candle. So I'm gonna do my best to try to express or describe to you the scent that I'm smelling from these candles, with the caveat that I am nursing a cold. So I hope that my scent my scent smellers are okay for this, but definitely that caveat should be out there. So I want to start here with the one that I think is the most seasonal for right now, which is this green one here. Here's the green Art Deco right here. Really pretty. They do have a seam. This one has a nice seam though that's not too noticeable. Look at that, that's really pretty. All right, and then they've got this gold lid here. This particular scent is Orange and Fir, and it just says Orange and Fir scented candle, and it's got that very inconspicuous looking little HH there at the top, but it's really a classy sophisticated looking candle. These lids are a little hard to take off. I've been taking them on and off as I've been smelling them. But like the first few times I tried to take them off, like I felt like I needed to use a wrench or something. Obviously they've spared some expense here by not really having a whole lot of a rubber gasket. As I'm looking here, they actually do have some like little rubber pieces on the inside that you would have thought would have made it easier to take off, but the lip is preventing it from doing so. So it's really just kind of like a metal on ceramic situation. Anyway, close parentheses, you've got a lid, okay? So this is orange and fir, and I like it. It's a pretty robust smell. I am getting primarily orange and spice. So not a whole lot of fir. It is orange forward. It's a fairly generic orange. I don't know that it's going to blow your mind. And the spice is clove cinnamon. Yeah, clove cinnamon. There might be some fir underneath it. It definitely has a candle that speaks to the lower registers rather than the higher ones. So in that sense, it might be conceptually evocative of fir, but I'm not smelling a whole lot of fir, mainly just because I'm smelling the orange and spice, which is super forward. It's a nice candle. I don't know that it smells particularly expensive or nuanced, but it's nice for what it is. And it's got a really nice, like, robust smell to it. So yeah, I like it. Oh, I'm sorry. These are 10.5 ounce. I didn't give you the 0.5. It's 10.5. Okay, 10.5 for $5.99. And that is orange and fir. Then let's go to the second one. The seam is a little bit more noticeable here on this particular label. This is like a dusty rose, like cool girl millennial pink. And almost looks a little taupe, to be honest. It's like that dusty. And of course, all of them have that nice metallic. So this one is red currant cream. Looks just so. Okay, red currant cream. Ooh, this one is piercing, which is good for my nose right now. It's piercing. So, to be perfectly honest, I'm getting a lot of lemon from this candle. If you looked at it without looking at the label, I think you would say it was lemon. Like one of those like lemon verbena kind of candles. Although I'm not, of course, smelling a whole lot of verbena. It's just a really sharp top citrus note. But I do think it's a little softer on the underside, which I think they're maybe calling cream, but there's nothing like vanilla that I can tell from here or extra soft or creamy about it. Red currant cream. So I do want a little bit of a disclaimer here because currants are weird for us here in America. Actually, for the better part of the 20th century, currants were actually illegal to cultivate them here in the United States. And so while currants are very popular and familiar over on the continent, they're not here so much. A true currant is very similar to a grape. They're like a lot rounder though. And from what I can tell from my research, super tart. Like a grape, I guess, like a super tart grape, with a little bit more nuance than a grape too. And it can be earthy, it can be, and I suspect, given that this is a German company, that they're talking about a true red currant here, which I'm not familiar with. And so what I am experiencing as a bright acidic lemon note may actually be a true red currant note, and I'm just not so familiar with the berry. But to an American nose, this is a sharp lemon with a little bit of floral, actually, maybe just a tiny bit of floral, soft floral underneath. This is not a candle for me. But it does come across as a sweet candle, a fairly sweet, almost candied candle, which is making me think that it might have more mass appeal than I would think. And because my tastes sometimes run a little counter to mass appeal, it's possible that people will really like this red currant. There is a little bit of a berryness about it. It's like a berry lemon, which I was saying was kind of soft floral. It's a berry lemon, but it's probably a true European currant, and we're just a little bit ignorant. Okay, let's move on. This is the white here. This is a white or a creamy, kind of an alabaster look. The seam is fairly present here, unfortunately, but that's okay. And this one is Apricot and Oud, as in oud wood, O-U-D. And this is my favorite. It's my favorite, far and away. This is my best in show. And this one definitely is for me. So, Apricot and Oud. Oh my gosh, this is everything. Everything. So this one has all the creaminess that is lacking in the red currant cream. And I apologize. And to be honest, there might even be a little bit of sandalwood in this. And you know I'm a sandalwood girl. But it may also just be the oud wood that's combined with like some amber vanilla, for instance. And that'll kind of give off a little bit of a sandalwood or tonka bean kind of feel to it. And then there's a bright, almost floral, but could be fruity kind of element. And that is the apricot for sure, but it's like so creamy. And then underneath there's like that mystique, musky kind of depth that is gonna come from whatever this is that they've mixed as oud reminiscent. This is an amazing and sophisticated fragrance, as in a company like Kringle or Bath & Body Works would be lucky to have a scent like this. It is sweet enough that it's gonna be, I think, mass appeal, but it's intriguing and sophisticated and nuanced and deep enough that it is gonna really appeal to a lot of candle connoisseurs, especially who really like the conceptual fragrances. The downside to this one is that of the four, it is the most faint of all of them in terms of strength, which is making me worry a little bit about strength and throw on it, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take a fainter scent. I will put it in a smaller space, etc. This scent is absolutely everything this one is for me. I think it's gonna be for a lot of people too. It's just a question of whether or not you're gonna tolerate a more subtle scent. Last but not least, we've got this stunning black and gold design. I don't even see the seam, so this one is great. And this is Firewood. And I was expecting something smoky, and it is indeed smoky. Okay, so this one is, it's robust, it's intense. It's definitely smoky. I suspect this is not gonna be for most people. It's smoky, but, and I apologize if I'm wrong and my smeller is off here. I'm smelling a lot of patchouli. There is some, I would say probably cedar wood is in the top notes here. So a smoky cedar wood, but underneath is patchouli. Pretty sure it's patchouli. And it's not an insignificant amount of patchouli. And to my nose, it's an earthy, dirty kind of patchouli a little bit, which means that this is coming across as a little bit of a wet smoked wood. If you like patchouli at all, this is the candle for you, I think. And I know many of you are Halloween folks, okay? If you're the kind of person that stays up at midnight to get those Kringle candles with all the moss and the wet earth and whatnot, I think you really want to check this candle out here. It's a little drier than some of those like really wet, gross ones from Kringle, but it's in the mode of that particularly. I like it, but I think that unless you really like patchouli, this is probably not the candle for you. This is not, if you like Halloween more Bath & Body Works style. So Bath & Body Works had like a spiced pumpkin and patchouli. I think I reviewed it. It was a great little candle. It did have patchouli in it, but if you were patchouli sensitive or cautious, I might still recommend it to you with some caveats and reservations, because there was so much pumpkin spice tempering it that I think you might have enjoyed it. This is one of those candles where if you are patchouli sensitive, I really can't recommend it to you, because I think that it's pretty loud. It's a little bit forceful, and I just don't think you're gonna like it. I was hoping with the Firewood for a little bit of a true dry, like Palo Santo kind of firewood smoke, or a smoke that was more seasonal to this time period, or to this particular season, that would be like tempered with some amber, some brown sugar, some cashmere. That's like firewood that's like in your fireplace because you're getting warm, or ideally like some really posh alpine resort. That would be a seasonal firewood. This is more of a late October firewood, if you're getting my drift. This is one for the outdoors, like as in it's a true bonfire out amongst the elements. So this one is definitely not one that I could see, even if you liked it, burning this time of year or any time of year, frankly, that's not kind of a September, October situation. And the minute when I started thinking about that and how seasonal this particular candle is, and then also how seasonal the green one was, I don't know if this is their intention at all, but to me, this is a little bit of a Four Seasons collection, because you've got winter here and you've got fall here. And then I think you have like spring, like with the lemon and the rose. And then you have summer with the Apricot Oud. I could see you switching these two. I'll take this at all seasons, personally. But I think this might be a little bit of a four-season collection. Check it out. To be perfectly honest, $6, it's worth the receptacle alone. I adjust your expectations about strength and throw. But yeah, really something to think about. Checking it out in your local Aldi's, seeing if you've got them, etc. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. See you later.